Good morning, welcome to CATEX-TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. This is a live broadcast from Princeton, New Jersey. Today is Tuesday, July 13th, 2010. It's 11:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time in the U.S. It's 4:30 p.m. in London. In Hamilton, it's 12:30 p.m. and in Mexico City, 10:30. If you need to reach us during the broadcast, you can phone in toll-free at 1-866-67-CATEX. Overseas, our AOL instant mail address is CATEX-TV. The majority owner of the New York Yankees, George M. Steinbrenner III, has died. Steinbrenner was 80 years old. He died this morning at 6:30 a.m. at a Tampa hospital. Our condolences to the Steinbrenner family. I'm sure that in the baseball all-star game this evening in Anaheim, California, the Yankees who are represented will be wearing black armbands, and there will all likelihood be a little moment of silence. Now to our main news. Possibly some optimism finally coming from the Gulf of Mexico. Here on the right, you see a picture taken this morning of the new cap that BP has finally, miraculously, with the aid of those robots, installed on the spill on the ocean floor, which is a mile below the surface. You see now that the oil flow is coming out directly from the cap. It's a much more snug, tight-fitting cap on the leak. They're beginning to test right now, actually. It's going to last about 48 hours. They're going to check to see whether or not the cap is holding and try to gauge the pressure that's coming from underneath the cap. At some point in the next 6 to 48 hours, they're going to begin to tighten it up. They're going to begin to close off 3 separate valves that fit together, and ultimately they'll choke off the oil from entering the Gulf of Mexico. Then they're going to hook pipes up to the cap to funnel oil up to collection ships on the surface. If BP decides that the cap can't take the pressure of the gusher, or if low pressure readings elsewhere indicate oil is leaking, this could put out some possibly bad news. The alternative route, of course, is the permanent relief, the permanent fix. Those are the relief wells which are being drilled, which right now, as of this morning, are 5 feet away from the current pipe. So it may be that if not tomorrow, the next day, we might be able to report that the oil flow has finally stopped. Keep your fingers crossed. The United States property and casualty industry has generated strong net income in the first quarter of 2010. This is coming from AM Best. Best warns, however, that the industry should brace for cat losses during the upcoming hurricane season. According to Best, in the first quarter of 2010, the U.S. P&C industry posted a net profit of $11.5 billion. This is compared with a net loss of $900 million in the prior year period, and driven by the market reporting $2.9 billion, almost $3 billion in realized capital gains in the quarter. Best, however, noted that while 2009 was a modest year from a cat loss perspective, the sector experienced elevated cat-related losses during the first quarter of 2010. This, of course, is related to the winter storms that battered the Northeast. The industry incurred about $4.3 billion of cat-related losses in Q1. It still did pretty well, though. Best is warning that the latest 2010 Atlantic hurricane season prediction from who else? Our friend Bill Gray at Colorado University is predicting 18 named storms, 10 of which could strengthen into hurricanes and 5 which could become major hurricanes. So as a result, based on Gray's estimate, Best said that it's maintaining a projection for about 4 points related to cat losses in the industry's overall statutory combined ratio for 2010. The U.S.-based Anadarko Petroleum, which has a 25% stake in that well that blew out down in the Gulf, has turned down BP's request that it pay $272 million to help pay for the cost of the oil cleanup. Anadarko said that it remains, quote, committed to working with BP in good faith. However, they said that BP's, quote, reckless decisions and actions in connection with the sinking of the Deepwater Horizon may release the company from liability. BP responded by saying that Anadarko last month had filed documents with the federal government, quote, clearly certifying that each company, Anadarko and BP, would be jointly and severally liable. Anadarko's financial situation, though, is not as solid as BP. BP has much more revenue and a more diversified business structure. Anadarko is insured in the London market with Catlin, Hiscox, and QBE Syndicate 1036 on that slip. Well, down in Bermuda, life continues to go on. They're preparing for life after Patrick Thiel. Partner has unveiled a number of top-level management changes in the run-up to his retirement. Emmanuel Clark, who's the present head of specialty lines, has been appointed CEO of Partner Re Global starting 9/1. Bill Babcock, presently Group Finance Director, will become Executive VP and Chief Financial Officer on 10/1. He's also going to have IT responsibility. Marvin Pesco has been appointed CEO of Partner Re Capital Markets Group. He starts on 10/1. All three executives will report directly to Kostas Marantas, who's going to be the new CEO of Partner Re. He's replacing Patrick Thiel on January 1, 2011, when Mr. Thiel retires. U.S. stock market is actually up. It's up about 141 points. We'll go to a word from our sponsors. There was quite a spectacular fire yesterday near London. Here's a picture of it. You can see the top couple of floors of this 15-story building just essentially gutted. This was an apartment house. The fire occurred yesterday afternoon at the Cambridge Estate in Kingston upon Thames. About 100 firefighters ended up fighting the blaze for about 4 hours. A 32-year-old woman was arrested for possibly starting the fire. Something happened. A woman told the BBC how a young man kicked her door down and rescued her child. She said that she'd left the flat to dispose of a diaper when the door closed behind her, locking the baby inside. She said all of a sudden a man came running and said there was a fire and we had to get out. She said, "I can't leave, my baby is stuck inside." Another bloke came and banged the door in until we could get the baby out. If it was not for him, the baby would be dead. The flat was completely gutted. No one suffered any injuries, and as I said, it took 4 hours to bring the fire under control. Well, this was in the Royal Gazette this morning by Jonathan Kent. Keep this in mind as you listen to the story. Bermuda has a population of 62,000 people, just 62,000 people. According to an explanatory note yesterday sent out to some financial institutions, the Bermuda government intends to raise between $400 million and $500 million today. It's understood that the government has told investors that its current short-term indebtedness with local banks totals $140 million. Last month, in addition, the government announced that it had established a $200 million revolving credit facility. The note that was sent out yesterday explains that the bonds will be fixed bullet bonds, usually taken to mean that the interest rate paid on the bonds will be at a fixed rate, and that the entire